Good morning, everyone. It's South Sheriff Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope everyone has recovered from the elements, which was last night, the disaster class, which was last night. Now, I'm going to start off first things first. I want to start off, let's start off from the beginning, all right? Erik Ten Hag, at the end of the day, is in his third season, okay? And whatever has happened over the last 3 seasons, whatever happened last season, what happened this season, you know what? It cannot be excused for what happened last night, right? And we cannot just excuse for what happened, right? Number one, Tottenham Hotspur firstly deserved the win. They should have won by 5 or 6 goals, right? We've lost one. We just about beat Fulham 1-0. Just about, right? We lost to Liverpool 3-0, okay? Yeah, we beat Southampton, okay? We drew with Crystal Palace. And now we've lost to Tottenham Hotspur quite easily, to be honest with you. And we cannot blame the red card. Whether it's a red card or not, we cannot blame the red card. But one thing I want to say this, and I want to say this very, very clearly, guys, right? This is about Manchester United, right? This is not about any personal egos. This is not about my opinion. It's not about your opinion. This is not about being right or wrong. This is about the football club I love. The football club I've been supporting before the majority of you were born, my friends. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, what I am saying is this. People on this I told you so bandwagon, we could envision it before it all happened. It's all bull crap, in my opinion. It's all bull crap. Because at the end of the day, if the new manager comes in, right, and he flops, he fails to win 2 trophies in 2 years. He fails to give us champagne football. He fails to make Marcus Rashford into prime Mbappe and Bruno Fernandes into Messi. Because let's get it straight. This same manager is going to be forced to play Bruno Fernandes. Is going to be forced to play Marcus Rashford. So where do we go from there? Is it in their contracts? Is it a stipulation in their contracts that these guys have to play? No matter who we bring into this football club, it doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, we've been poor for 10 seasons, guys. Is the new manager going to come in, right, and say, Marcus, come here, Marcus, attack your fullback, cross the ball into the box, make some chances? Is he going to tell Bruno Fernandes, yeah, create chances. You can create chances. You can do this. You can get the ball and you can take on a couple of players and you can create chances, just like Odegaard. Is he going to do that? You cannot change the spots on a leopard. Now, that being said, right, and it is multi-layered. It is a balanced point of view. At the end of the day, I'm not going to jump on this whole aggressive thing, right? Because we know what these people are. We know who these guys are, and they're jumping on the ego trip, okay? You were wrong. I was right. You were wrong. I'm Manchester United FC. I've always been Manchester United FC, and I will support the manager until he loses his job. We have people in the fan base who don't support Manchester United because they want us to lose, right? They want us to lose. I didn't want us to lose yesterday. Regardless what my feelings are about the manager, I didn't want us to lose yesterday. Unfortunately, some people within our fan base wanted us to lose. I support Man United through thick and thin, regardless, right? I think I've earned the right. Nearly 40 years, 4 decades, guys. I think I've earned the right to make an opinion about that. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Guys, thank you so much, those guys who joined me early. Thank you, Vasta Stocks. How you doing? Good to see you, mate. Let's have a look at your comments. Is time and turn is good enough? We're basically a relegation battle. Not quite, but yeah, we will get there at the end of the day. The Everton we trust crowd, I find it more and more difficult to defend them at the end. Blame Glazers forever, especially when you bought 15 players and spent Al-Mac. Let's not get it stupid here, Al-Mac, right? Erik Ten Hag did not spend 600 million. That's a simplistic argument. The inept board of Manchester United spent 600 million by leaving transfers all the way to the last minute and then paying that money for them. I've told you before, mate. Do you guys listen to me, guys? I've told you before. They wait until the end of the transfer market and then they spend the money. They are inept negotiators. They cannot. They wait until the last minute. So then we're in desperate fields, ain't we? And the transfer fees get over exaggerated. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that is not an argument, Almac. That is not nothing to do with Erik ten Hag here. We're talking about Erik ten Hag as a manager, not what the board spent. What the board spent is what the board spent. They're the ones who sanctioned. The Glazers are the ones who signed the checks. Let's not forget. If the Glazers didn't agree with that deal, they wouldn't have signed the check. So it is the Glazers. It is the Glazers, guys. Of course it's the Glazers. They have a huge part to play with it, Almac. A huge part. Of course. Is Erik ten Hag exempt for criticism? No, he's not exempt for criticism. And I was extremely, extremely frustrated yesterday by what happened. And I was annoyed by what happened. Right? And I'm going to get into that in a minute. 1 second. That's down said that we have to our next match in Europa League, FC Porto, Aston Villa, the manager, whole entire squad at this point is pathetic, no hunger, no passion. Rasta, great comment. At the end of the day, it's multi-layered. And as you said there, it is everyone. It is everyone. It is the players. It is the manager. It is basically the players who have no hunger, right? Erik ten Hag didn't tell Marcus Rashford to pull out our challenges yesterday, did he? Right? He didn't tell the players to walk around the pitch and show no effort whatsoever. My only worry is that these same players will get a new manager, no matter who the manager is. These same players will do exactly the same with the new manager. And we're talking about Rashford. Sure. Is the new manager going to come up to Luke Shaw and say, let me rub your leg? There you go. It's better. You can play all season now. It's not going to happen, is it? Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford, Casemiro, all these players. I'm not going to bring in Casemiro because he didn't do nothing yesterday. Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, of course. These two players have been there for years and years. Maguire, Lindelof, all these players that need to be gone. I know they didn't play yesterday, but they're still there. They're still an influence in the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? And they've been there for a very, very long time, guys. Let's not forget Dalot with the poor performance yesterday. Another one who's been there for a very, very long time, guys. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we look at it like this, right? Erik ten Hag, he's getting it wrong in regards to his team selection. That is Bruno. That is Rashford. That's all these players. And I'd said it from the beginning. The best player yesterday on the pitch was obviously Onana and Garnacho for me. Onana and Garnacho were the best players on the pitch. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Mark, morning, guys. Morning, Mark. How you doing? Big up, beyond disappointed. It's getting beyond now. Absolutely. Kazi, big up, Kazi. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, mate. Absolutely. Whether you think the best manager in the world, we will also fail to get sacked if he given the job after Ten Hag. It is a failure as it is now. At the end of the day, you know what? No manager is going to turn this football team into a championship winning team. At the end of the day, there's something more going on behind the scenes in regards to Manchester United that we are simplistically trying to think. You know, and the thing is, Manchester United have a number of problems what are going on right now. A number of problems. You know, it's not just one problem. It's not just the manager, but the manager is a problem. Of course, he's a problem. You know what I mean? We're not saying he's not a problem, but let's be fair here, right? Let's not blame Erik ten Hag, like Jim Ratcliffe said, blaming him for the leak in the roof to the money spent on transfers. That is not what it is, guys. Come on, you're smarter than that. It's not just about that. This is about football, what goes on the football pitch, right? What goes on the football pitch is that it's not good enough. Is that Ten Hag's fault? Yeah, it's Ten Hag's fault. Is it the players' fault? Yeah, it's the players' fault. Of course it's the players' fault. And there's a number of players in that squad who are not giving 100%. What is going on? Why is that happening? It's not good enough. We should have won. We should have lost yesterday 5 or 6-0. Why? Against Tottenham Hotspur. Why can Leicester City play better against Tottenham Hotspur and we're not? Why? Why? What are these? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves. Is it just a manager? But then again, he's the manager. He's not the coach. Ruud van Nistelrooy is on the coaching field. René Hake is on the coaching field. What do we do? Is it just the coaches? Is it just the manager? Big up, Grayo. How you doing? Well, my legend. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you, mate. Morning, everyone. Lost the words today. I have no idea where we are, who we are anymore. No desire, no fight, nothing. So disappointed. Great, you said it there. No desire, no fight. And that's exactly what it is. Even if you are a League One side, a League Two side, you show desire and fight. And something we didn't show yesterday, regardless what tactics you pick, regardless what players you have on the pitch, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all it is about desire, effort. And we didn't have that yesterday. Don't tell me that we had effort and desire yesterday, because from the first minute, Tottenham Hotspur wanted it more than us. Let's forget about whether it was a red card. It wasn't a red card. Tottenham Hotspur wanted it more than us, guys. Why did Tottenham Hotspur want it more than us? We look like a League Two side coming up against a Tottenham Hotspur in an FA Cup tie. That's what we look like. Any manager should get the same 200 per year. That's enough for a squad. We don't need to put up with this. The squad is good. At the end of the day, the squad is good. There's a few players there that need to leave more than players need to come in, Almac. I'm talking about Rashford. I'm talking about Bruno. I think Lindelof, Maguire, Luke Shaw. These players need to leave now. Malacia, anyone, all these players are not playing. They need to leave. They need to leave. And this is just as important as bringing players in. Why is this just as important as bringing players in? Because at the same time, that you buy players, you still got the bad eggs in the dressing room. And we need to get rid of those bad eggs. And the manager has to have the authority to get rid of those players who've been here for 5-10 years. Do you know what I mean? Those same players who've been here for 5-10 years. He needs to have the authority to do that. If he doesn't have the authority to do that, then what's the point? Because at the end of the day, was Van Gaal a bad manager? No. Was Jose a bad manager? No. Was Ragnick a bad manager? No. Was Oli a bad manager? Maybe, but done all right, considering the squad he had at the end of the day. So what I'm talking about now is that where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? And my opinion is if the board are going to sack Erik ten Hag, if they're going to sack Erik ten Hag, they need to do it now. Do it now. Because if you're going to sack him against Aston Villa, anyway, you might as well just do it now. Do it now. Get it over and done with, right? And then when it comes to the new manager, then when we get the new manager bounce, remember these words from Sal, right? Remember these words. When we get that new manager bounce and we start winning games again and we go on that run like we did under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we all remember that run, don't we? When we go on that run and we go undefeated and stuff like that for the first few months. And then when those same players decide, I can't be bothered anymore, are you going to come back and say, well, I was wrong? You know what I mean? It is the players. I was wrong. Manager spent 300 million. Manager spent 400 million. There's an underlying problem at the Manchester United Football Club that it digs deep. It's deeper than just the manager. There's something fundamentally wrong with the way Manchester United are. We play worse than every single team in the Premier League, and we have been doing that for the last few years, guys. This isn't just now. This has been for the last few years. There is something fundamentally wrong with our football club. And it's not just one person. It's a number of things that have been going wrong. Now, we know that Ineos have taken charge of the football club. We know that. We know we got to give them time to implement it. But if I was Ineos right now, listen, as regardless of how I feel about Erik ten Hag, I supported Erik ten Hag because I support my football club and I want my football club to win. But when we're not playing a football match, I'm going to give my opinion. When we lose like that, I'm going to give my opinion. And my opinion is if they're going to remove Erik ten Hag, do it now. Do it now. Because at the end of the day, we may not beat Porto, we may not beat Aston Villa, and we've wasted time, right? We need something to change, right? We need something to change right now. Something needs to change immediately. So we have to make the change now. We cannot wait next week. We cannot wait against Aston Villa because if we lose the next 2 games, we just wasted 6 points in the Europa League and the Premier League. So at the end of the day, if we're going to change anything, we need to change it now, guys. Mark, Dalot was terrible yesterday, but as a team, there's not even any option to the bench to pull Dalot off. And this is the problem, and I've been talking about it for a long time now, and people were trying to contradict me on this channel. To be honest with you guys, he's not a left back. He's not a left footer. You cannot put a left footer, a right footer at left back and expect a fantastic performance. Every single goal came from that side. And it has been like that for the last couple of weeks. Every single goal came from Dalot's side. Why? Because he's not a left back. He's a right back. He cannot play there. He's not good. He might be good in little patches here and there, but then he creates spaces when he goes forward. But he wasn't the only one yesterday. And I'm going to get into that. No way Madrid's still interested in Dalot after yesterday. He probably ruined dropped his price tag. That's for sure, guys. Absolutely. This whole club needs a look in the mirror and one that must ask itself, am I really giving everything to help the club? Absolutely no one. None of those players are giving everything, Mark. I know that a lot of those players don't go on the pitch thinking that they're wanting to lose. They don't go on the pitch wanting to lose. But are they giving enough? can they look at, as you said, can they look at themselves in the mirror and say, look, I gave my all? Because I don't think they have. I really don't. Whether you like the tactics, whether you don't. As Gary Neville said, are you putting in a shift? Are you giving your all? They're not, in my opinion. I told hold Eric Sotos for more than a previous manager because he was far more involved in the transfers than the previous manager. He scouted the players, identified the targets, and he had the veto. Yes, but at that time we were run by clowns, you know. So at this time we're run by authoritative people who know what they're doing in regards to football. Now, look, the transfers these days are going to become from a committee of a group of people. Of course, Barada, of course, Wilcock, of course, Ashford, of course, Jim Ratcliffe, and all these guys are going to be looking at the transfers. Christopher Vavell, of course, as well. They're going to be looking at the transfers. So things are going to change in regards to that, right? So the transfers that are coming right now are not just down to Eric Ten Hag. They're down to our committee of people from Ineos, of course, that is our new structure, right? So we cannot solely blame Eric Ten Hag. I know you want to blame Eric Ten Hag for everything. I know. That's just the way it is with the Ten Hag outers. I know. At the end of the day, we got the Ten Hag outers online and screaming and shouting because I told you so. I told you so. What is that going to achieve? At the end of the day, if the new manager comes in and he fails miserably, I'm not going to say I told you so because I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm going to be upset because we wasted another few years. That is how I'm going to be in regards to it. But what I would say right now, we have to change it now if we're going to change it. If Ineos are serious, they will change it now. Let's not wait. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's do this. Get Ruud van Nistelrooy in as interim, and let's see how it goes as interim. But as a serious ownership, even if Ruud van Nistelrooy does well, we should have a manager lined up, a competent manager, an experienced manager. Because Ruud van Nistelrooy is not that guy. Even though you may think he is, he's on the training pitch training those players as well, guys. Let's not forget. He's the one who's training the strikers how to score. You know, let's not forget that. So we get an interim manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy as an interim manager, but in view of getting another manager in, a competent manager, a manager who's proven at winning. Who would you get, guys? Because I saw two players do that yesterday, Onana and Garnacho. Onana and Garnacho probably were the better players on the pitch. I would say that in the end of the day when you're analysing it fully. But I saw Rashford pulling out of tackles yesterday, and I was absolutely fuming in front of that television. I was fuming. Guys who joined me on here, you know how much I was fuming, guys. Tasfa, for me, the ship players like Bruno, Rashford, and others have to go. The manager, who I don't think is good enough, maybe a slight chance, just maybe, but still won't start them the next game. Do you know what? This is partly to do with Eric Ten Hag and his problem because these players are not good enough. Rashford and Bruno have not played well for a long, long time. Let's not be delusional here. It is these players as well. But then we have to ask the question, why does Eric Ten Hag keep picking them? Bruno deserved to be dropped. Why does he keep picking them? It is down to him. It's down to him. And this is the problem. Now, because he keeps picking those players, he's going to die on his own sword, isn't he? And the thing is, the only worry is when a new manager comes in, they're going to have the same problem because they're going to have Rashford. They're going to have Bruno. They're going to have Shaw. They're going to have Malacia. They're going to have Casemiro. They're going to have Maguire. They're going to have Lindelof. They're going to have Dalot. They're going to have all these players there, the same players, and they're going to have to try and make it work. How they're going to make it work if these players are not good enough. Maybe we're overrating these players. Maybe these players are just not good enough. Now, there was an episode the other day where Owen Hargreaves, who's a former Manchester United player, was sitting behind the bench and Ten Hag was about to bring on Garnacho. I think it was against the last game against 20, right? He was about to bring on Garnacho. And Eric Ten Hag said, defend. Make sure you defend to keep the lead. None of that happened. None of that happened, did it? You know, and at the end of the day, look, if they're not listening to instructions, simple instructions, where does the manager go with this? Are they throwing the manager under the bus? Are they not performing for the manager? We cannot go from third in the league, beating Barcelona in the Europa League to this. You know what I mean? Having spent another few 100 million on the team as well. We cannot go from that to that. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. But again, I will say it like this. It's not good enough. Regardless, it's not good enough. No one loses 3-0 against Tottenham Hotspur at home. No one draws 1-1 with FC20 at home. Crystal Palace are rubbish this season. They lost to Everton, didn't they? They're rubbish. Right? At the end of the day, Crystal Palace are rubbish. Brighton are rubbish this season as well. Smashed up the last game, of course. You know, they are rubbish as well. At the end of the day, look, you know what? We can have, this is not about blame game. This is not, I'm right, you're right, I'm wrong, you're wrong. This is nothing about that. This is why what we do going forward. What we do going forward now is change the manager. Change it now. Do it now. Why are we waiting? We cannot wait any longer, guys. Like, at the end of the day, if they're going to change the manager, do it now. Onana Garnacho joint man of match for me yesterday after. Absolutely, Kazi. I told these guys. I told these men about Garnacho. He's the only one who actually puts in a bloody effort. You know what I mean? If it weren't for Onana, we would have lost 4 or 5. But Onana did let in some soft goals as well. We have to admit. Morning, everyone. Morning, Brian. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're covered. Kazi, agree. Absolutely. Me too. Hi, Jim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, pal. How you feeling, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Kazi, I can tell Southside is very passionate indeed. Mate, I've been supporting this football club a very long time. I'm not like them guys, those fan camps, the Fazes, the Saids and all that, who are only interested in their ego. I'm not them people, right? I'm a guy who supported my football club a very long time before those guys were born, right? At the end of the day, I say it as it is, passionately, without any hatred, without any agendas, right? Without any, I'm right, you're wrong brigade. You know what I mean? And that is how I see it. I'm not those sort of people who sit in front of a camera calling people a bald fraud and a peanut head. I'm not that sort, because that's not constructive. That shows a lack of intelligence at the end of the day. Now, my opinion is I really wanted it to work. This is why I didn't want to change Erik ten Hag, because I want it to work. I'm fed up with starting again. But at the end of the day, we have to think what is best for the football club. What is best for the football club right now, as everyone keeps telling me, is change the manager, right? Okay, let's change the manager, all right? Let's do it now, though. Let's do it now. Let's change the manager now. Let's do it now, guys. I don't think it's been said enough, but how can a huge guy like Xerxes, he's so lanky, he is falling over on any contact when shooting every attempt? But, mate, these guys are more interested in their hairstyle than performing on the football pitch at the end of the day. Malacia is more interested in his shiny new teeth than performing on the pitch. You know what I mean? That's why he's not playing. At the end of the day, we got too many players there, prima donna players, that if they want to play for this football club, they better goddamn realize who they're playing for. They got to realize where we came from. They got to realize who sacrificed themselves for this football team, because that is what it's about at the end of the day. This is why I started supporting this football club, because of the history of this football club and where we came from. Where we came from, adversity, tragedy, we came from. You know, and it's up to those players to show it on the pitch. Whether you like Ten Hag, whether you don't like the tactics, whether you don't like the team selection, you play for that badge. And no one played for that badge yesterday. No one played for that badge, guys. Absolutely no one. I cannot look at anyone and say, you've done well. Well, Garnacho ran a bit. Garnacho was probably the better player on the pitch. Onana saved us a couple of times, but he did let in a couple of stupid goals. You know? 6 and I watching, 61 likes. So please like and subscribe, guys. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, Grail. Yes, guys, please. I'm on my way to 5,000 subscribers. If you don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you're new at stuff, guys. Absolutely. I'm on Eos right now. He promised us the best in class. It's time to get actions. Ciao. Right now is the time to do it. If they're gonna do it, which they will, do it now. Do it now. Stop mallying about and just get the job done and get the new manager, what you want in, and just do it, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? Just put us all out of our misery. For Aston Villa, it's better than Man United. I know, fan. I know. At the moment, they are. They play better football. I watched Goldman speak, and he did make some sense. I blame Erik ten Hag, I blame the players, and most importantly, I blame those Glazers. Mate, Jim Watkins, my friend. Mark Goldbridge is one of the smartest guys in the fan cam business, right? He puts all those little chubby little sausages to shame at the end of the day. He's at the end of the day, he says it as it is, and he speaks from the heart, and he does support Man United, and you know what? He speaks on a balanced view. He talks a lot of facts. At the end of the day, what he said today was absolutely true. You know what I mean? In regards to Rashford, in regards to Bruno, what's going to happen with the manager. But at the end of the day, we're fed up now. We're fed up now. Do it. Change the manager. Do what you like. Let's do it then. If it works, good. Because I'm a Man United fan at the end of the day. But I bet your bottom dollar. The same players are going to perform for a few months. Then they're going to down tool again. Now, the only way this is going to work is if we get rid of all those big influential players in the dressing room who have been there for years and years and years, literally some 10 years like Luke Shaw, if they're removed from the dressing room. No, they don't have to be on the pitch to make an influence in the dressing room. You know what I mean? So it could be Rashford. Of course, it could be Luke Shaw as well. It could be Maguire. It could be Lindelof. You know? It could be Dalot. Who knows? The club needs to have a meeting with the players and manager. Big time can't accept this crap anymore. Exactly, Brian. They need to get together and have a proper meeting. Ineos need to get to that training ground today. They need to get to a training ground and tell them on no uncertain circumstances that this is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Hellboy, ball fraud is not what we say, mate. Ball fraud is just an uneducated opinion, my friend. You don't need to insult people to make a point across. I won't insult you, Hellboy. You don't need to insult Erik ten Hag. Insult Erik ten Hag, my friend. Don't need to do that. We don't need to. We're better than that, Hellboy. We're better than that, ain't we? We don't need to insult him. He's not good enough. All right? We get rude as interim. We don't need to call him a ball fraud. You're not Rants. All right? You're not Rants. You're not that guy who wears the ego trip and the ego kid hat and the Primark t-shirt. You're not that guy. At the end of the day, so don't act like that guy, because it's not someone you should be aspiring to be like. Do you know what I mean? Right? And they throw it at me. I've got millions of hits all around YouTube. I've been on national TV. I've done things. I've done big things with talent. Right? These guys got no talent. They sit in front of a green screen and do nothing, guys. So at the end of the day, don't be like them, because they're not the guys you should be aspiring to be like, guys. Absolutely not. I blame all of them, Sal. I'm getting rid of getting rid of Ten Hag. Can we trust the players won't turn up? Absolutely, Jim. And this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about in regards to that. I agree. At the end of the day, getting rid of Ten Hag is one part of the problem. One part of the problem. Now, what do we do with the other parts? If the manager is going to succeed, is he going to have the authority to do what he wants in the transfer market? Is he going to have the authority to do what he wants? Irfan, yes, Ruud have to come number one for now for the next year. We have to wait and see. Ruud van Nistelrooy will be interim if he does remove. Of course, we've got no choice. That will be it. He'll be the next in line. I will actually regard to customer Romania free in midfield. Brian, I agree, because we are totally open yesterday. Totally open. You know what? We don't have the players. We ain't got the players like Paul Scholes and Roy Keane anymore. We cannot play one defensive midfielder. At the end of the day, I felt sorry for Ugarte yesterday, because he has to do everything in the defensive side. Mainu's not a defensive player. It's pretty clear he's not a defensive player. He's more of an attacking player. So we cannot play Mainu and Ugarte, because we were overrunning midfield and it was a problem. Irfan. Man United have to stop playing 4-2. Yeah, it's not working now. Man United to play 3-4-3. Man United don't play 3-4-3, mate. Man United don't play. It won't work. It won't work. Dalot Martinez will go Man United have never played 4-3. We don't play 3-4-3. We just need to keep that midfield solid. 3-4-3 don't work with elite teams. Elite teams don't play 3-4-3 anymore. It's rubbish, because when you go forward, the wing backs go forward, right? It splits up the three central defenders at the back and leaves you more exposed. It's not the formation I like, guys. Absolutely not. So here's a question for you. Maybe the Glazers are forcing Ten Hag to pick certain players or something from within. Jim, it just, look, you know what? It could be a stipulation in their contract. It could be something like that. And I agree with you, Jim, because at the end of the day, it just seems a bit odd to me that these players can continue playing. And you know what? We got Aston Villa next Sunday, right? And I know people are saying, well, Bruno should play against Porto because he's suspended against Aston Villa, right? But no, I will play the team that plays against Aston Villa. I will play it on Wednesday. I will start playing that team on Wednesday. I will drop Bruno. I will drop Rashford. All those players be dropped, and I will play a different team against Porto on Wednesday and carry on playing that same team against Aston Villa next Sunday. That's what I would do. Big up, Jim. Manchester United players playing so much, but I can't play good football, so I'm so frustrated. I can't continue. Absolutely, Zizou. It can't continue like this. And if people want to change the manager, let's do it then, Zizou. Let's do it. Let's change the manager. Let's bring in Ruud van Nistelrooy as interim. Let's get that little manager a bounce, and then let's fade away midway through the season, as we do every single time. It's like deja vu, isn't it? It's insanity at the end of the day. The only way we're going to move forward is if we get rid of some of those players. We get rid of them. We have to get some of those players. Brother said we're challenging you. He must be smoking. Mate, you never know. You never know what happens within 1 year. Look what happened to Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? It can change, but big changes need to be made. And the way these changes need to be made is by removing certain players there. You know what I mean? Those big influences in the dressing room, right? This is going to take time. 2028 is 5 years away. Isn't it 4 years away? We're Manchester United. Things can change. Things can change. And I've seen it myself. I have. I remember someone said Man United are never going to win the league. You know what I mean? And we ended up winning the league. Arguably one of the worst performances of the last decade. One of the worst from first minute. My advance said it was from the first minute. Tottenham wanted it more than us. Why did Tottenham want it more than us? Tottenham started that game like a house on fire. They started like, you know what, that they were the home team. It was like that. And what happened to all those players? What happened to the effort? What happened to the sprinting? Nothing. It was rubbish. Rubbish. As a Manchester United fan, I'm very embarrassed. Me too, Jim. I'm embarrassed as well. Do you know what? At the end of the day, we're Manchester United. We shouldn't be feeling like this. But what we can do is we can fix it. The great thing about football is that you're only as good or as bad as your last result. And if we can move forward and start winning football matches, things will change. But for us to start winning football matches, if it's going to be under Erik ten Hag, he needs to make drastic changes within that team. Fundamental changes need to happen, need to occur. He needs to remove Rashford. He needs to remove Bruno. He needs to play the double pivot. He needs to play free in the midfield, and he needs to be more solid and think more smartly in regards to going forward. This is not the Eredivisie. At the end of the day, this is the Premier League. This is the Premier League, and he needs to change the formation. He needs to change the way we play. We need to concentrate on keeping the ball. We need to concentrate on remaining solid. Look at the way we start. We start games poorly. We've been doing that for over a year. We start games poorly. We start second halves poorly. As example, yesterday when he conceded a goal after the first couple of minutes in the second half. We start second half poorly. We start first half poorly. It's absolutely unacceptable. Man United should be starting the game on the front foot. Always starting on the front foot. If not, bring in the bloody youngsters. If they cannot do it, bring in the bloody youngsters. Bring in the winners. That is the youngsters right now. The conveyor belt of talent that we have there. The young players that are winning things right now. Bring them through. Bring 5 or 6 of them through. Forget all the old guard. Forget them. They've had their chance if they don't want to do it. Absolutely. Going mate, fair. United players are not professional. They get paid to do a job. Absolutely. They must do their jobs. They can't. They must resign. Leave my club. Don't embarrass my club, my sport. Absolutely, mate. They're overpaid, over rich, over pampered. Some of them are too rich too soon. They don't put in an effort because they're already rich. When they lose that game, it doesn't really bother them like it bothers us, because at the end of the day, they just go tomorrow and buy a new car and make themselves happy. That's what they're going to do at the end of the day. They don't really care about us fans. Play like you mean it, like we said last season in the crowd. Play like you mean it. They don't play like they mean it. Do any of those players look like they play like you mean it? That Marcus Rashford pulled out of a number of challenges yesterday. He didn't play like he meant it, did he? Mad, isn't it? Big up, David. I agree with you. Thank you, Kazi. Hope you're doing well. Chichi. Good morning, Mr. Sal. Good morning, Chichi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Mazraoui played for the badge and Onana for me. Mazraoui, Garnacho, and Onana played for the badge for me. Whether they played well or not, they played for the badge, and that is my opinion. The rest of them, nah. I felt De Ligt did okay. De Ligt couldn't do nothing about the goals. At the end of the day, he left exposed. The defense was left exposed by that midfield at the end of the day. And the left back, which is Dalot, left back, in quoted. I'm supporting Man United from here in Brisbane, Australia since 1992. Around that time, it hurts a lot. Absolutely. It does hurt a lot, guys. Absolutely. You said that you were going to be another 5 games. Are you still giving me 4 more games or you've lost faith? Almac, I said that we shouldn't be losing to Tottenham. Minimum we get is a draw, right? I did say 5 games, but the way we played yesterday, Almac, you know what? I'm not overzealous about the manager. I'm not not delusional. I can see what's going on. I can see some of those players have down-tooled, and that is the worry about it, because the next manager comes in, it's going to be exactly the same thing, and we're going to turn on another legend, which is Ruud van Nistelrooy, of course, this time. At the end of the day, I cannot accept that. Me, myself, I'll give it until next Sunday, but if Ineos are going to change the manager. If they have in their mind already, they do it now. They do it now. Do it now, because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in the manager, do it now. Why are you waiting? Do it. Show us. You know what I mean? Story. We cannot continue. Lighten should be sacked 1 year ago. Guess Ineos are working now. He has to be. Look. At the end of the day, we put into doubt the benefit of the doubt last season. What happened last season? We have to realize, and we have to be smart and give an educated opinion on what happened. You know what I mean? Last season, which was bad at the end of the day. But this season, there's no excuses, and I'm not bringing any excuses into it. But if Ineos want to make a change, they got to make it now. They got to make it now. They stop messing around. Do it. Do it this morning. Go in that dressing room. Go in that Carrington and do it. And then you speak to, I want Ineos to speak to every one of those players, and let them know what going about what Man United are, who we are. I want them to tell them, not just sack the manager, but I want them to tell every one of those managers who the hell they're playing for and their contracts are on the line. That's what I'll do. It's gross misconduct sometimes, for goodness sake. Lord Rodney, I can't believe the hate. Lord, there's no hate here with me, mate. I'm very balanced, Lord Rodney, my friend. I'm very balanced here. I'm saying it as it is. If Ineos are going to do what they have to do, do it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm tired of defending it. I've defended it. I've been one of Eric Ten Hag's most staunch supporters over the last year. Most staunch supporters. And people will tell you that. Do you know what I mean? Till it's the end. It is the players to blame. I know that. I know it is the players to blame. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with the manager, doesn't it? The fans are going to go against the manager. They're not going to go against Marcus Rashford and Bruno because they're going to be let off again, ain't they? They're going to be let off again. You know, and this is the whole problem, isn't it? So look, these smart asses in the fan cam business, all those guys standing at Old Trafford, calling out people, acting like a bad man behind their camera, miles away from Old Trafford, by the way, all the way down. They need binoculars at the end of the day. But acting the big up at the end of the day. These guys, let them have their wish. Let's get a new manager. Let's do it. But I bet you, if that manager doesn't win 2 trophies in 2 years, I bet you we'll be here and we got receipts, guys. Smash that like and subscribe button. Big up, everyone. Big up. It is an illness, but at the end of the day, Rodney, can I call you Rodney? Rodney Trotter, like Only Fools and Horses. Big up. The only one I would say, the thing I would say is that, you know what, the facts don't lie. The facts don't lie. Our results are poor, right? It's almost relegation form. And you cannot hide away from that. Gary never got sacked for having more points. You know what I mean? You know, so we have to look at it smartly and we have to look at it for what it is. At the end of the day, if the players are not playing for him, what can we do? Again, what can we do? If the players are not playing for him, what can we do, guys? Everything yesterday was crap. The bench, Ahmad. Why do you play Garnacho out of position instead of benching Rashford? I know, Uchichi, I agree with you, my friend. I do agree with you. Rashford should not be playing. He's been performing badly for a long time. I knew it was just a flash in the pan, the goal against Barnsley. I believe you say, I'll see what you see. Absolutely, Jim. Thank you, mate. I'm glad you do. I'm glad some people do. Thank you, mate. The players are not training. They couldn't stand physically. So, yeah, they're not doing enough for me. They're not putting in enough effort. Rashford, Onana, Harry, Luxor, all out. Yeah, I agree. And this is the thing. If the manager wants Onana out, are we going to get rid of Onana? Can we get Onana out? This is hypothetically speaking. If the manager did want Onana out, are we going to get him out? Are we going to be able to get him out? That's the thing. At the end of the day, the club is to blame for spoiling all these players who are good enough, who are not good enough, and don't give a shit about the club, but earn ridiculous amounts of money with no consequences. I absolutely agree, mate. Absolutely. We pay him too much. I agree. Allegri is available. Don't want Allegri. Absolutely not. No, thank you. I've got very, very good Italian roots, guys. He's not the guy for Man United. No, you're on the Goldfish, to be honest. He gets exposed us of oppression and procedures. Get rid of people whose opinion don't make money. Johnny, it's not just about that, mate. He has a decent opinion on football. I know the guy. I've known him for 7 years, Johnny. Don't fall for the narrative at the end of the day. He's a human being. He's watched Man United, supported Man United for a very long time. I've known him for 7 years, Johnny, properly. You know, and at the end of the day, what he said yesterday was spot on. He said it spot on at the end of the day. And I couldn't have said it better myself, Johnny. And it's not kissing his backside. It's not anything like that. Listen, there's a huge vendetta against Mark Goldbridge. Maybe put that energy towards, the other guys, Saeed, Faz, Rance. Pull it towards those guys. Johnny. Put it towards those guys, because those are the guys who spread hatred, not Mark Goldbridge. Mark Goldbridge says it as it is. If you dislike him, that's up to you. I can't force you to like someone. But at the end of the day, put your effort towards the ones who are the biggest, noisiest ones, the ones with the biggest mouths. You know what I mean? The ones who are outside Old Trafford, spitting their garbage, calling him a bald-forward peanut head. That's not how we do things, guys, at the end of the day, Johnny. I blame all the players of it. No one is free from blame. Absolutely. It is multi-layered, my friend. It is multi-layered, my friend. Of course it is. You know what? And this is what we have to believe in. Jim Ockham said. It's a multi-blame, absolutely, from all angles. Absolutely. It is a simplistic thing just to be blaming one person, of course. What's wrong with Primark clothes? I like Primark clothes. Me too. Me too. But don't give it the big one. Cosy. I'm just trying to describe him. That's all. Nothing wrong with it. Jim, good morning. Well, yes, we love supporting United. Half our lives, we are so spoiled by Fergie, but we also had bad games. But you could see a change in the game. Next game, yeah, absolutely, I agree. Yeah, we come back and we used to win games in a row, didn't we? We used to win games in a row. Big up, Sal. Big up, Kenny. How you doing, my friend? Thanks for having me on Lodge Alone. So Ruud van Nistelrooy be the next line to be the next manager. Looks like it's all planned. Yeah, it does. But let's say this year again, we're going to have to give him time. You know what? If Ruud van Nistelrooy is the interim manager, then we have to plan the real manager, the permanent manager, the same season, and we have to know who the new manager is going to be. If Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be the permanent manager, then they have to announce it early that this is our manager, this is our guy, this is who we're supporting, this is who we're putting our faith in. That's what we need to do. Grayo, Sal, I have to go to work now. Hopefully we'll be back for chatbots later. I wish you United players had the same passion as you, my friend. Much love. Thank you, Grayo. Likewise, my friend. I hope you have a lovely day at work. I hope it's good for you and productive, my friend. Absolutely. Van Nistelrooy is the next in line. Van Nistelrooy is the next in line, yeah, but let's not get in Ruud van Nistelrooy's back if it starts going bad when some of those players down tall. Let's not start calling him a fraud and stuff like that. Let's back him. If he does become the manager, let's back him, and let's not turn against him with a blink of an eye if something goes wrong, because that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Or he upsets one of their favourites, because you know what? That's what they do, isn't it? They upset one of their favourites, then they turn against him. And we don't want any of that. We have to support him. Shah, we have to change all over. Mate, Shah. I don't know if you speak English, but prostitute's a bad word, my friend. Don't say a prostitute on my stream again, my friend. Please, Shah, can you not say that? What are you trying to do to my channel, mate? Don't say that, mate. That shows a lack of intelligence, my friend. When you talk like that, it shows a lack of intelligence. In the English language, I'm English, right? That shows a lack of intelligence. You don't speak like that, my friend. You know what I mean? That's not how we talk on here. I feel sorry for Mount. He's so unlucky. F Mount. F all of them. At the end, I don't care anymore. Big up. Morning, Sal. Are the players down in tools or the manager is tactless? How did we get to this level? Let's perform a Ragnick surgery, Rashi slabhead. So I know Afro Soup, it's really bad at the moment, my friend. It is. I don't know how we come back. You know, I just want a successful football team. That's what I want, my friend. That's what I want at the end of the day. How are we going to get back from that? How are we going to get back? You know, whatever you say, the next manager comes in, and if they're going to change the manager, do it now. Do it now. Change the manager now. Let's do it. Why are we waiting? Let's do it and let's move on. Ruben is the only one who cares. I hope so, mate. And I hope that the fans give him a chance if he does come in, Kenny. I really do. Big up. Jim, the Glazers aren't involved anymore. They do sign the checks, Johnny. They still sign the checks, mate. They do. Trust me, I know. Sad thing is, if that stays, no surprise, sad how low the standards have fallen. The standards have been going down and down since Ferguson left the club, since we made the wrong decision on appointing David Moyes as the manager. That was the first wrong decision we made, and the standards have been dropping ever since then. It's been going down and down and down and down and down. We've been going down the cauldron. But by the time we know, it'll be relegated. No matter who's the manager. I told you, there needs a cultural revamp at this football club. Gladly, we got Ineos there, and we have to change a lot of things with regards to football. It is multi-layered. It's not just one thing. It's not just the manager. It's some players as well, some mainstays, those players who are those irreplaceable sort of players. Do you know what I mean? Those sort of players. Johnny, still own 50% of the club. You don't know what's happening behind those doors. Johnny, in regards to Johnny Jim, they do still sign the checks. I know that for an absolute fact, right? With someone who works at the club. So it is a fact. They still sign the checks. United will ruin polite Van Nistelrooy's legend. You know, Rodney, this is what I'm worried about, that we do the same to Ruud Van Nistelrooy like we did to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you know what I mean? I don't want this to happen to Ruud Van Nistelrooy, of course. Do you know what I mean? So for Ruud Van Nistelrooy to succeed, he has to have the tools to succeed. Bruno won't play. He got suspended 3 games. He will play against Porto, though, and I don't want him to play against Porto because Porto, it doesn't count in the Premier League, of course. So he will play against Porto, Chow. So I would drop Bruno for Porto game and play the team that will play against Aston Villa next week. That's what I would do, in my opinion. Chichi, Rashford doesn't love United anymore. Fernandes should be benched. So sad. What Fernandes did yesterday wasn't a red card, but it was unforgivable because you're giving the referee a choice to make. You shouldn't be giving the referee a choice to make. You know what I mean? You're the captain at the end of the day. Story. Players have to know belief in Ten Hag. That's clear. They will not work. It's the Ten Hag's problem, and he cannot turn things around. The players are not giving the effort. Story. So if they're not giving the effort, which you expect from wearing the great Manchester United jersey, if you can't give the effort for Erik Ten Hag, what makes you think they're going to give the effort for the next manager when things go a little bit pear-shaped? When things go a little bit heated, when it becomes a little bit rainy, are those same players going to down tool again? Are those same players going to think, oh, I don't want to play for him anymore? We can't accept this anymore, guys. We have to, if we get a new manager in, I'm all for having a new manager. Let's bring it. Let's do it. But are those same players who've been there for years and years and years, down tooling, throwing the manager on the bus, going to be removed as well? There's a lot of them still there. Are they going to be removed as well? That's what I want to see. And then only then will I be happy with it. If Bruno and Rashford get sold, I will be happiest man alive. Me too, Kenny. Absolutely. The way they're playing now, they feel like they're invincible, of course. I think this is the worst performance under Ten Hag, 7-0 chance at least. I think this was the worst performance from minute 1. The way we played Zayed from minute 1 was disgusting. Tottenham Hotspur wanted it more than us from minute 1, and that's not just down to Ten Hag, that's down to the players as well. Why are they not putting a foot in? Why are they not tackling? Why are they not pressing the team? Why? Do they want to lose or something? I don't know. Tottenham came with a game plan. Tottenham's game plan was just basically work harder than us, run more than us. When the player was on the left-hand side for the first goal, when the player was on the left-hand side, no one went in for the tackle. No one went in for the tackle. For good's sake, take the player out. If you have to take the player out, take the player out. Then it's still 0-0, isn't it? You know, it's just like they're not giving enough effort. They're not sweating. As I said yesterday's stream, I used to go to Old Trafford and players used to be sick on the pitch. I was on the front row of the Stretford end and I saw Patrice Evra vomit on the pitch. Why? Because he used to give so much effort for the cause. He used to give his everything, his body on the line. Nowadays, when those players walk off the pitch, it looks like they've been for a light jog. Not even that. Jim took out, they still sign the checks, mate. Glazers still sign the checks. The checks, signed, still delivered. They own 50% of the club. They still sign the checks. They cannot spend money from the football club that isn't theirs. They can spend their own money, but they cannot spend money of the football club. If another party owns 50%, it has to go through the majority party. The football operations go with dealing with the everyday operations of the football players, the transfers, but not the finance. Looking after the football club. What needs doing? That needs doing. We need that player. We need that player. We need that player. How much is it going to cost? It's going to cost that much. So we get this. We get them down in price. We get them down in price. We get them down in price. Then we go to the Glazers. We got this player. We got them down in price. Can we sign this off? They sign it off. Guys, listen, I've known it because I know people at the club. Johnny, no, you can't argue with this. I know people at the club, mate. Not arrogant or anything like Johnny, but at the end of the day, they still sign the checks. They have no pattern yet. A new manager should get judged until they have the opportunity to bring in their own players. But then again, how much we're going to spend? And then we're going to have a backlog of Erik Ten Hag players, ain't we? This is where we're going with this at the end of the day. Another backlog of players who are going to be unhappy and stuff like that. It's going to be a backlog again, Ahmad. The new manager should be given time. The new manager should be given the same time as Erik Ten Hag has been given. If it comes to the second season, right, and he spent the same amount of money as Erik Ten Hag and he hasn't won 2 trophies in 2 years, you bet your bottom dollar. We've got receipts, mate. And he doesn't come top 3 in his first season. You bet your bottom dollar. We've got receipts, mate. Absolutely. Ichichi, I cried from within watching my beloved. I know, Ichichi, it's not nice. I know. I hope it will get better sooner or later. But hook up back, Rook. It will get better, guys. Don't worry. Everybody to blame for yesterday. Absolutely, David. Spot on, my friend. Sal, Ineos want him remove Rashford about it. Sadly, it's not happening. I know it should happen, but we need to get rid of all the dead wood if we are going. Absolutely, Jim. I agree with you. These two players in particular, including Shaw, Malacia, Maguire, Lindelof, all need to go because there's still influences in the dressing room. They still got a voice in the dressing room, of course. I didn't feel any emotions watching the game. Same, Kenny, we were here. We saw it live. You know what? Even the stream was cracking up. You know what I mean? It was just one of them written in the stars, of course. I think no one left that pitch hurt yesterday. No one left that pitch hurt yesterday. They're going out, buy a new car, go out, go shopping, go to dinner. They'll have a lovely time. You know what I mean? Good afternoon, Chichi, brother. How you doing? Big up everyone, of course. Martinez, by the way, big worry post-injury. He's been poor. See what the board wanted. Branthwaite. Yeah, Martinez hasn't been the best, but I wouldn't blame him for yesterday. Midfield was a bagel. Dalot was all over the place. Players work their socks off for McKenna and our compact. They do not believe in this. We are so open. McKenna's not that guy, though. McKenna is not going to change Manchester United. There's too many egos in that Man United football club to put a manager like McKenna in there. Martinez is so poor at the moment. Yeah, I don't know why. Not only him, it's Dalot. Dalot is affecting Martinez because Dalot is not a left back. So that Martinez is having to come out wide because Dalot is always forward. And the thing is Dalot's not tracking back and he's out of position. So Martinez is compensating for Dalot's incompetence. Well, not incompetence. He can't play in that side. He's not a left footer, of course. I'm sort of intent how I'm chanting it, but it hurts out. I know it's a multi-layered problem. Mate, listen, Jim, guys, everyone, guys in the chat. Look, I'm telling you right now, if the board want to remove Erik ten Hag, do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Get the manager you want to get in and let's move forward. Because at the end of the day, the longer we leave it, the more the toxicity is going to grow and grow and grow. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, isn't it? So if they're going to get rid of the manager for Bio, just bloody do it now. Do you know what I mean? Stop waiting around. Chichi, sincerely for Mr. Son, the boys ain't training. Those guys ain't doing the drills. Onana is not a bad keeper, but United is a bad club at the moment. Onana just lets too many easy goals in, Chichi. He made some good saves yesterday. I'll give him credit. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch, but he just lets too many easy goals in. I don't think he's the goalkeeper going forward. The fear factor is no more there in the players. The fear factor at Old Trafford, everything there is everything that is. We have no fear anymore. People are not scared of us like they used to be, of course. Wayne Rooney was so angry watching from the stands. This ain't the Wayne Rooney team. The fight was not there. It was so clear. Absolutely. He's part of it, though. He was under the David Moyes era when we came 6th and 7th and they down-tooled under David Moyes. Let's not forget. You can't just blame the players. Ten Hag's tactics are awful. We don't just blame the players. Multi-layered means blaming everyone, Johnny. Multi-layered means blaming everyone. Absolutely, he purchased 13 players. So did Ineos as well. He did have to get it. But you know what? Multi-layered. It means everyone, Johnny. Everyone is to blame. Not just the manager, not just the players. Rashford is an embarrassment to our academy players. He's setting bad examples to our youngsters. He must show more interest. Put your body where it hurts. Rashford don't give a damn. He don't. Don't give me this mental illness business crap. I want to see something to believe in. This luck trophies means nothing. Yeah. Story. Onana is not a bad goalie. Don't blame keepers for your defense was poor. Onana isn't a bad keeper, but he's not a world-class keeper either. De Gea would have saved a number of those shots that were aimed at him. He is a bad keeper for Man United. He's not the fit for Man United. He doesn't pass out the back. We bought him for passing out the back. He kicks long. What kind of thing is this? He's not a good goalkeeper. He lets too many easy goals in. Too many. I guarantee we are not finishing top 4 if we don't put a new manager next month. I think, GK, we have to change it ASAP. If we're going to change it, if they believe it's going to work, do it. Do you know what I mean? Do it. Everton, I can't guarantee top 4. It's simple. It's the way you never can. Yeah, it's still early, guys. Let's wait and see. I'm also what a weekend. I'm sick to myself. Me too, bath time. Me too. What can we say about it? We have nothing to say, can we? Really, we are not blaming Everton, but we can't work on the tactic anymore. Better Rude to try and let. This is what I've been saying the whole show, GK. I've been saying it the whole show. If they want to get Rude in, get Rude in. But Rude is also on the training field. Let's not forget. He's also training those players as well. Let's not forget. Yesterday, yeah, there was embarrassment. I'm tired of everything. I'll choose his players as speaks. But you know what? If let's say that if there's stipulations in their contract, is there stipulations in their contract? Do we know that? We don't really know, do we? At the end of the day, if there is or not. Like, I agree with the most with Rashford, Bruno, so, but apart from them, the squad is his. Rashford, Bruno, Dalot, Ahmad, Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire. Yeah? 7. are not his. 7. Now, yes, those players don't always play, right? Those players don't always play. But let's not downplay what an influence that 7 players can have in the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? How powerful they can be in that dressing room. Dalot as well. How powerful they can be in that dressing room. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. You know what? I would get rid of all of them and start again, Johnny. I would. I do have some slight sympathy based on the fact that our players made 2 defenders look like Messi this week. That's inexcusable professional. I agree, Bath Time. Do you know what? This is exactly right. You know what? It is the players as well. Well, the way they started yesterday, I'm sure Erik ten Hag didn't set them out to start like that. I'm sure Erik ten Hag didn't set the players out to let a player run the length of the pitch and cross the ball for a tap in for Johnson, of course. I'm sure he didn't do that, of course. But obviously, the buck does stop with the manager. It does stop with the manager, and we cannot be overzealous. We have to call it as it is. And as the fans want, some fans want a new manager, bring the new manager on. Let's see if it changes, guys. And if it doesn't change, then what we're going to do? Get another manager, waste another 5-6 years? What we're going to do? You know, we have to make the right choices now. What are your player ratings for the game? Guys, I've got my player ratings for the game. I'm going to bring them up now. So bear with me a second, guys. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I'm going to bring up my player ratings now. Thank you for reminding me, my friend. Thank you for reminding me. You legend. Thank you. All right. The player ratings for this game for Man United. Here we go. Right. We've got Onana got a 5 for me. Made a couple of good saves, but letting a couple of easy goals as well. So, you know what? An average score. Leacher got a 5 for me. Average, poor to average. De Ligt, poor to average. Mazraoui, poor to average. Dalot got a 3. He was very, very poor. Caught out of position a number of times. Ugarte was left on his own. Felt like him. You know what? I felt sorry for him sometimes, but he was a very average, a 5. Mainu, a 5 as well. Got injured halfway through the game, of course, as well. Bruno was the worst player on the pitch for me. Got a 2. 2 for Bruno for me. Bruno got a 2. Rashford got a 3. In my opinion, could have got a 2 as well, but done a couple of runs there and there, but got a 3 for me. Xerxes got a 3 as well, was lazy, lethargic, slow, didn't do anything within the game. So 2, 3, 3. At the end of the day, we got lots of 5s and lots of 2s and lots of 3s, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, 5 is, and the man of the match for me was Garnacho. For me, he got a 6. Because he ran all day long and he didn't give up. And he was the only player on Man United's team who actually cared, it looked like, at the end of the day. 5 is average score for that performance yesterday. If we look at the substitutes yesterday, Eriksen got a 5 for me. Højlund got a 5. Casemiro got a 6. Thought he'd done a K when he came on. Mount got a 5 as well. He came off early, of course. I felt that the substitutes done better. I felt that the substitutes, when they came on, did quite well, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. So that is my ratings for the game, guys. That was my ratings for the game. In regards to Erik ten Hag, I'll give Erik ten Hag a 3 yesterday. I don't think Erik ten Hag covered himself in glory yesterday. Firstly, the team selection, the substitutions, the way the team set out to play was poor. He got a 3 out of 10 yesterday. And you know what? Simply not good enough, guys. If I'm being totally honest with you, if I'm being totally frank with you guys. What do you think of those rankings, my friends? What do you think of those? Absolutely. Uchichi. Anybody uses funny words here should be blocked, Mr. Sal. We are United fan. Come here to speak reality, not to constitute unnecessary nuisance. Thank you, Uchichi. Thank you very much. Absolutely. No insults, no bull frauds and nothing like that on this channel. We say it as it is. We don't insult people. Human beings at the end of the day. The issue, though, is the defense is all that Ten Hag's choices to where 3 of them defenders spent with the Ten Hag and Ajax too. You know what? We've been bad in defense for a very long time, mate. Let's not forget we lost 6-1 to Tottenham a couple of years ago without Leacher, without De Ligt. What's going on? You know what I mean? What's going on? I don't know. I suggest not to play Rashford on the left wing anymore, rather right foot or left foot. You know what? I suggest playing a 4-4-2 formation, a solid 4-4-2 formation, playing 2 players up front. That's what I would say. Think people are expecting too much from Ineos. They only own 25% and new majority owner. Yeah, they only can do as much as they can. Of course, Glazers are still there with 50%. Let's not forget. I don't disagree with Johnny Hill, but at the level of football, that's a disgrace to happen twice in a week. And in my opinion, not a structural or manager issue. Big up, Bath Time. Good point. Guys, Rashford are potential ball losers. Johnson, Rashford, I thought Garnacho did all right yesterday. Rashford, disgraceful. So was Bruno. Spurs was fuming last night. The guys are different podcast. Must remember, we are all United fans. We shouldn't respect each other's opinions. Faz and Said were speaking last night in regards to insults, calling out Mark Goldbridge. Disgusting, to be honest with you, because none of them have ever been in a ring. None of them have ever done anything of any combat of their life. Do you know what I mean? They're just sitting there, eating their Cheerios and their bloody Mars bars and just talking crap at the end of the day. And that's what they do. They don't have a constructive opinion. They have a disgusting opinion. You know what? The one great thing about social media, and I started doing music, right, 20 years ago before social media existed, and I used to sell CDs on the street. I used to hustle, right? Social media is a fantastic thing, and it helps people, but boy, oh boy, it's given a lot of waste men a voice, hasn't it? A lot of waste men a voice that they wouldn't have otherwise had, of course. That was crap yesterday. Yeah, very crap. One of the worst players on the pitch. I think Ole did a very good job here. I don't think anyone's done a good job at Man United. I don't think any players have done a good job at Man United. Ole didn't win anything. Football's about winning trophies. But after maybe I think the team of tactical issues. Don't forget Ole lost 6-1 to Spurs. But after maybe I think the same tactical issues keep popping up. Maybe not defense, but maybe midfield and attack. We got a lot of problems, Johnny. A lot of problems. So Erik ten Hag should get sacked. I'm not saying it will hurt, but I would never call any other manager name. Guys, they're human. Like YouTubers love to see it like you, Sal. Jim, you know what? I would say it like this, my friend. You know what? Just do it. I would say just do the business. If they're going to sack him, the results are not good enough, Jim. And ultimately, the buck falls with the manager, doesn't it? We can't hide from that. Even though it is the players to blame a lot of the time, the buck will fall with the manager. And so be it. Let them change the manager, bring in a new manager. I'm not going to fight this anymore. Just bring in a new manager. Let's see what we're doing. But if they're going to bring a new manager, do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Just come on. Just bring in Ruud van Nistelrooy is there. Just bring in Ruud van Nistelrooy. Have him as an interim. And let's move on, for crying out loud. Absolutely. We should all write letters to Ineos Inter out. David, don't do that, mate. Don't say that, David. It's not about that. Don't fall into that Saeed realm that, you know what I mean, with his illiterate letter at the end of the day. We're not them person. At the end of the day, Ineos are going to do what Ineos need to do. And if they want to do it, they do it now. Do it now. They're not stupid. They know what's going on. None of us need to write letters at the end of the day. Let's not get into that realms of petty things like that. You know what I mean? Trying to be smart and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We're not that people, are we, Dave? Benching your best winger is insane. Absolutely, Johnson. Garnacho, Erasmus, Bruno, Ahmed, Maynard, Ugarte, Delict, Onana. Yeah. Should be JK. I agree. Johnny, you buy small players like Ugarte and Martinez or slow ones like Cassette and Ericsson and expect them to cover large spaces. You're going to have these issues. That's so unshadowed. Yeah, I agree with that. Bath time. We have too many slow players. But you know what? I'm not only seeing slow players, I'm seeing players who are not giving effort. That's what's worrying for me. As a fan, we are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Absolutely, Jim. Absolutely. Spot on. Tommy, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Ten Hag, 56 win rate. Tommy, you know what? I would say to you, my friend, I would say to you, look, you know what? If I had my choice, I'd give him more time. But at the end of the day, you know what this fan base is like. You know what some of those guys are like. The pressure's going to be put on. The buck's going to stop with the manager. The results are not good enough recently. The results are not good enough, of course. But at the end of the day, if they're going to change the manager, Tommy, I don't know who you would like as manager. But you know what? Do it now and do it early. And let's do it effectively, of course. So Ineos will remove these toxic players. Watch this space. I hope so, Kazi. I really do, my friend. I really do hope so. I really, really do. Slot 87%. No settling here. But didn't Erik ten Hag have a good record in his first season, coming third, winning trophy? You know what I mean? Didn't need to have a good first season. Let's wait, guys. It's too early to be talking about Slot. How good Slot is. For good. No, let's wait. We'll never know if this is our worst ever. United keep surprising us with the games. We should be ready for more embarrassing moments. The things are going to change very soon, Dave. Things will change. You know what? And if they are going to change, they have to change very soon, of course. Only Ferguson said more than anything. I feel that almost mismanagement for Ineos to invest this amount in players and staff and looking at Bath time. They're good players. They're good players. I just feel like we've got a cultural problem at the football club, and the way we play, we don't have an identity. We're not giving enough effort. You know what I mean? I mean, we can't be that bad because, I mean, FC20 are not better than us, are they? And we're still playing like that. So there's something fundamentally wrong with the way Man United are setting out. you know what I mean, are playing and the way the effort levels are at that football club, I think. So Eric Ten Hag should get sacked. Part of me feels the way. The other part, I'm not too sure, mate. I think just remove him now. And I think just this week, just get rid of him and let's move on. I think, in my opinion, even though it's sad, we have to move on. So I think the same issues with McTominay played and Maguire played, etc. It looks like the pointless pressing gets sometimes. Also seeing Ahmed on the bench again disgusted me. Johnny, yeah, you know what I mean. But you know what? We're all geniuses in hindsight. You know, as long as we won the game, I didn't care who played yesterday. But I was surprised that Bruno played again and Rashford played, you know, because they haven't been good. Let's be honest. To be fair, Mount went off with looked like a hole in his head. Yeah, Mount had a bad injury, of course. He had stitches, but he shouldn't be posting up a video of it on trying to big himself up and stuff on Instagram, of course. Was Maynard injured or subbed, by the way? Injured. Johnny, injured. Johnny McTominay could cover more ground than any other midfielder we have, and now Maguire is probably our best defender in the high line to play a system and not use this system. We got Euro to come back. Let's not forget. De Ligt is very good as well. Let's give him time. We got Euro to come back as well. He's fantastic. Let's not forget. Rude is part of this. Stupid to go for assistant. Rude is part of this. Let's not forget. He's on the training field. He's training those strikers, of course, guys. Let's not forget that. Johnny, to be honest, I wish Mickey from Spurs having Van der Ven, De Ligt together would be also nice. Ineos, maybe this is why they wanted to sign Branthwaite. I know someone said it earlier in the chat. Maybe this is why Ineos wanted to sign Branthwaite. Maybe that's the reason. Sal, still feeling angry. Though I want Eric to get the sack. I want also the whole club change and win. I don't wait until I'm not here to join the mad, the crazy side of fans. No, I know you're entitled to your opinion, and I agree with you, Jim. I think, like, you know what? If we're gonna change it, let's change it now, guys. Let's change it now. To be fair, Johnny, the most important part of the press is pressure on the ball, and our forwards don't expect anywhere near enough, except for Mount, but he lives in the hospital. Yeah, exactly. Bath time. Exactly, I agree. Wayne Rooney or CR7? Oh, mate, don't say that. CR7 I'll take. That'll be fun, Paul. That will be fun. I'm not sure about Rooney. Maybe I'll just see other teams. If Rooney's too much of a Friends United teams. I don't have to press for 90 minutes because they have technical players. Ten Hag seems to be not like using technical players. They're all technical, mate. If you watched Ugarte at PSG, is very technical player. Whether you are Eric in or out on the fence, I love to Man United. Big love to you and sound respect. People subscribe and press the like button. Join this great family channel and share. Thank you so much, Jim. Yes, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I think, Johnny, it's less about technical players and more about goes for one-on-one-ups, more physical enough. It's effort, bath time. I think it's effort. It's general effort and putting your foot in and really going for the game. You know what I mean? Believing that we can win the game. Belief in the team, of course. Thursday's Porter, Sunday Villa. I'm scared. Another embarrassing show. What's your opinion in the games? Eric Ten Hag? I think he'll beat Porto, but I don't think we'll beat Aston Villa. I've got a feeling we're going to beat Porto. I really do. I really, really, really do. Everton are 33%. Let's have a look. Let me go up. Wow, I've got so many comments, guys. I'm going to catch up. Yeah, I would as well. Here we go. Right. Anana and all the players get a 3. Yeah, 2 and a 3 for me. I take points off Ericsson for hitting the first man at every corner. Yeah, he's crap at corners and that needs to improve. He's not good at corners. I thought he was good at set pieces. He's not anymore. I'm giving all of them 0 by heart. Yeah, I know. If I could pick 0, I'll pick 0 for all of them, of course. Story. So De Ligt, Ugarte and Maz have an average match. Yeah. They didn't play extraordinary, did they? Could have had Alvaro Fernandez left back, Pelistri, Garnacho. Yeah, wrong sides, Sal's in my opinion. Rodney, absolutely wrong Sal's. Some of those players are left. O'Donoghue as well. I liked him in the preseason, was brilliant. Don't know why we got rid of him. Who is using funny words? Some people using lots of bad words. I give Garnacho 7.5 for his performance at work. He was my man in the match, Kazi. My man in the match. Surprise, surprise. I knew it would be. I'm trying to be too technical. Just do 4-4-2. Tommy, love you, mate. Thank you so much. I agree. 4-4-2 all day long. Reason I play 4-4-2 is compact, and you can also go attacking as well, and it's versatile. Big up. Noah, Everton is a disgrace to me, and Man United fans are not proud of him. Get hit a scum fraud. Mate, bald. Mate, what's bald got to do with it, mate? What's bald got to do with it? What's bald got to do with it, Noah? Noah, if I come on the stream and if I'm a working man and I come on and I start insulting you, you don't like it, do you? It just shows a lack of intelligence, Noah. It's a lack of intelligence. Call it as it is. Call the facts, and that's what you should do, Noah, my friend. That's what you should do. Call the facts. Don't show lack of capability to construct a proper argument by calling someone a bald fraud and stuff like that and scum fraud. It's nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, my friend. Take it from me. All right, who supported this club before you were born, 20 years before you were born, probably. Take it from me. Constructive criticism at all times. At the end of the day, I'm not in Ten Hag in, I'm not Ten Hag out. I'm saying if they're going to change it now. They're going to change it now and come up with a constructive argument. This bold stuff, it doesn't fit right with me, man. It doesn't fit right. It comes from the mouths of people who live in a council estate in the middle of Tottenham talking crap. You know what I mean? That's where it comes from. At the end of the day, that's where it comes from. And you aspire to be like them. Don't be like them, Noah. Be better, my friend. Big up. Sheriff Post, Robert, I think you don't have the players to commit to the work rate. So good technical coach banged his head. Better we get a decent manager. We have a Rude as manager. Let's see how Rude does. Of course, let's see how Rude does, my friend. Swapped McTominay for Latino McTominay with less pace. I thought Amrabat, 10 million would have been done. But give Ugarte a chance. He's playing on his own in that pivot. He's on his own at the end of the day, so we have to give him a chance, of course, guys. I want someone to please explain to me with Ahmed, why can't he get proper playing time? He's played the last 2 games, Dave, I know, but it's Rashford, isn't it? And Bruno. There is a problem. United can't afford to remove manager. It's why Eric Ten Hag is so very confident that he's safe. Yeah, that's one thing we have to think about. Good point, Joel. Had taken Pen himself, he would have won the trophy. Cup trophies are about luck. They are, but great teams get through. You make your own luck in this world. Story. You make your own luck at the end of the day. And Ten Hag's won 2 trophies, by the way. So it's sad to see people attacking Goldbridge. He speaks calmly and wise. I watched him this morning. All he does is clown breed, hate and division. Mate, at the end of the day, a lot of these people who were on Goldbridge, who have been sacked from Goldbridge, who are unemployed, sitting in their 1-bedroom bedsit, talking crap about the football team, writing insults about the manager and the football club, who people died for this football club. You know what? Losers at the end of the day. Losers. And at the end of the day, all their numbers, all their so-called popularity has come from Mark Goldbridge. So at the end of the day, you know what? They are his biatch, to be honest with you. So at the end of the day, that's how it always be. Jim, love and unity. Big up, Rodney. You've seen the state of the world. COVID taught you nothing. There's no love and unity amongst the world. Rodney, I don't know what you mean by that, but I worked in a hospital. I worked for the NHS for 5 years, mate, and I had COVID 3 times, risking my life for COVID, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. I worked at St. George's Hospital in London, the biggest hospital in London, and I saw some of my friends die in front of my eyes. I don't know what you're talking about, mate, Lord Rodney. I don't know what you mean. Enlighten me, my friend. The slot machine will be broken soon. Absolutely. When I went to bed last night, I thought when we wake up, people were happy reading Eric Ten Hag sad, but not. Dave. When I sack Ten Hag now, that's the question. I mean, if they're going to do it, Kenny, they've got to do it sooner rather than later, rather than waiting around. Eric Ten Hag win rates 30%. United, if it is poor, Joel, no need to say it is poor. It's rubbish. Do not bring up 50% rate, man. It's not. It's rubbish this season. We only as good as your last result, as I've always said, guys. But if you watch Goldbridge streams, he calls people toxic and stupid for only because they deserve it, mate. Ransom them are definitely toxic, but so is Goldbridge. At the end of the day, no, mate, he's not. He's the only one. He's the only guy in that fan base who will support me, who backs me when I had a problem. He was the only one, guys. At the end of the day, I don't want to have anything wrong to say to him just because he's successful. That's all it is. At the end of the day, Johnny, you can have your opinion on him, but it's not factual. You're reading too much more social media, my friend. It's not factual. He spits it how it is, how it feels. He speaks like me. He speaks like you. He doesn't call people like the P word, like someone's just called in the chat. It's just because it's highlighted. He doesn't insult people. You know what I mean? And that's what I would say. That's my opinion, Johnny. If you're not going to change, that's fine, mate. Much love to you, my friend. Well, exactly. Love and spread. Everyone can give opinions, but attacking people for having different opinions is classless. I don't know if he's talking about me. I mean, if he is, I apologize, but I don't know if he's talking about me. It will cost them to get 10, but what's they must find out. Absolutely. Joel, yes, overall United 33% relegation form. We have got almost relegation form, yeah. Oh, sorry, Rodney, I got the wrong end of the stick. Fan ambassadors generally know nothing about football and they're just here for the clout of money. Yeah, I agree, Rodney. I agree, absolutely. And yes, COVID didn't teach them anything. You have the overtime today. What's going on? I can't stop, Jim. What's going on? I have to stop in a minute. Nobody fancies Tuchel. As an interim, no, I don't really fancy him, my friend. I'm not a United fan, but I stay and watch active channels at the start of last season. And yeah, saw all your problems at United supporting the sport players playing too much. Yeah, that is a big problem, Rodney. I agree. Too rich too soon, as I say. Porto is one of Europe's best home teams. Yeah, but they lost against Bold Zilt, isn't it? Or wasn't it Bold built? During the midweek, it's going to be a tough game, though. Story. Glazers out absolutely all day long. I already called for people with Fernandes and Balestri, good squad players, and other. I mean, none of them. I mean, yeah. Hindsight's a very good, beautiful thing, though, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. But when Fernando was there, they didn't support him. They supported your Shaw, your Bruno's. And yeah, I agree, mate. Absolutely, Rodney. I agree 100%. I blame the players, especially Rashford and Bruno. Absolutely. I agree. 100%, Tommy, 442. Me too, Dave. Been saying it for weeks. I was laughed at. Tuchel is no good. He was okay in a small Dortmund. His success other places, maybe Nagelsmann. Won a COVID Champions League. That's about it, of course. No, this is glasses to call someone names. You have to study the whole situation of the club and be more wise and become like Rance and say they're not fans of United. Absolutely, Jim. But big up Rodney as well. I know what he meant. For me, we bring new manager. He should be able to rule the dressing room, not just to coexist. I agree, Barman. He should be, and he's losing the dressing room at the moment, my friend Barman. He is losing the dressing room at the moment, my friend. Good to have you here, Barman. Thank you so much for joining me. So right, Jim. Go to Man United. What do you think about the losing balls? He's not a left back, in my opinion, Barman. He's not a left footer, and he looks like he's not a left footer. Not good enough, in my opinion. Not good enough. I can say it's COVID. People were stopped from seeing their loved ones. Healthy people were getting vaccinated. People were arguing over vaccine and treating each other like animals. I agree. Yeah, I was there, mate. Lord Rodney, I was at a hospital working at St. George's, right? I had to stop people from seeing their dying father or their dying mother or their dying son or their dying daughter. It was me who was stopping them from seeing them. That was my job. Oh, you know what I mean? Sad. And people don't learn, people, how privileged we are. People don't learn about it, Nagelsmann, of course. If we can't blame it, 10 ball players are human. We need to blame someone. There's lots to blame, but the buck stops with the manager, doesn't it? Think he's here for the rest of the week? Probably. I think after the Porto game, we'll know. The rich get richer. Politicians have as partners and doing what they want. Meanwhile, the common man, I'm not going to deny each other access to the loved ones, etc. Exactly, I agree, mate. But this is not the COVID channel, though. Of course, it's a football channel, my friend Lord Rodney. Big up. Is this the darkest day you can remember, Sal, in terms of the squad? No, it's not. I've seen us come 11th, my friend, Bath time. And I've seen toxicity. I've seen it. It's getting bad, though. It is getting there. I haven't seen us start a game that badly, in my opinion, though, as I saw yesterday. Tuchel came third with a Werner Havertz side. Yeah, he did. Ten Hag came third too, didn't he? And won a trophy. Rashford is suffering without an overlapping fullback. Yeah, Rashford needs to just sort himself out. You know what I mean? He needs to sort himself, worrying about other people. Great players show themselves regardless of help. Definitely. You think, Said? Great players show themselves. They don't need people to give them a hand. Ronnie Trott, you can have your opinion, but you must respect your opinions here. Unity and love, brother. Absolutely. Unity and love to everyone. Where do you think we'll finish out? At the moment, Zayed is 11th. 11th. At this rate, 11th. I can't see where the wins are coming from, Zayed. Must have been if the manager change, we coincidentally have a new manager bounce, of course. If the new manager, you know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. It's predictable. We're so predictable. Must have been hard and horrific when working at St. George's. Kazi was hard, very hard, very, very hard and horrific. I worked there for many years. People will tell you that. And it was difficult during the COVID times. Of course, had to go to work every single day. Sometimes I had to walk to work, from London Bridge all the way to Tooting. And I had to do it because no one else would do it. I've seen people die. Yeah. Ten Hag gave a statement that we can go to the Champions League with Europa League as well. Like what? Why can't we finish in top 4? I know. The one thing with Ten Hag, he lowers the expectations, which is not the way to go. Yeah. It's not. Big Ron was a popular, same as Doc. They had personalities. Big Ron was a decent guy. He's a decent bloke, mate. A bit racist, but decent. I think we can get a top 8 even if Ten Hag stays. We'll have to. We can't get any lower than that. Yeah, I know. I was just explaining about. Yeah, big up, Lord Rodney. Don't worry about it, mate. I know what you mean, my friend. Don't worry. It's all good. I suggest United seeing the squad. Rude should try. You want to bring a manager, then bring Southgate, Rodgers, McKenna. Bring someone in, for goodness sake. We need a change. If they're going to change it quick. Guys, it's been a brilliant show. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me. I've gone way over the time. It's been amazing. What do you think of Euros thinking? Oh, goodness. What are all of those players thinking? What's Ugarte thinking? What are they all thinking at the end of the day? What have I done? What have I done at the end of the day? Guys, I will carry this on in Chatterbox. I'll be here 2 p.m. UK time, of course. I will carry it on in Chatterbox. It's been a fantastic show. You guys are legends. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like. All that lovely stuff. If you could do that for me, really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You absolute diamonds. I shall see you for Chatterbox later on. Thank you very much. And if anything else breaks, of course, because you know what? We are getting into precarious grounds here, so anything can happen, innit? So take it easy, guys. I shall see you later on. Have a splendid, splendid Monday morning. Take it easy. Peace.
你说什么呢？